Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, Dr. Quesero TV, and to my show in English, Ask the Cheese Doctor. This is an open window for everyone who wants to learn how to make cheese, whether it's at home or commercially. Okay, this show is only in English. Soon, we will be having captions in any language. I'm working in a platform that you can translate in your language. If you are from India, you can translate in Hindi. If you are from Japan, you can translate from Japanese. If you are from South America, you can translate in Spanish. So the thing is that I want to reach everyone and teach everyone how to make cheese. And well, this is the if you want to learn, you're in the right place. And today we're going to speak about a very interesting topic, which is the holes in cheese. Why do they happen? Why do we have holes in the cheese? And when I was a kid, is that and then they told me my mom used to tell me because I asked him. I always been asking questions when I was a kid. And why does cheeses have holes? And not the mice are eating the cheese, and this is why the cheese has holes. And but it's a different story now. The holes are produced by gas emission. But I will speak about it in a little while. If you have noticed, I am having a new overlay in the background. The computer, I reckon, is a little bit is a little bit faster because I changed the computer finally. And I'm connected directly to the internet, not by Wi-Fi, which is make the connection a little bit faster. So if you want to ask any question, you're more than welcome. Of course, I'm going to answer the questions of my audience in English, in the English in Spanish. Well, if they're in Spanish, I will translate it to English. Don't worry. The idea is that you guys understand, you guys learn. If the question is in English, I'll answer in English. But if the question is in Spanish, I will translate it mentally and will answer in English as well, so you can learn from the knowledge. You don't have to be in English. The idea is that you learn how to make cheese, whether if you speak English. Okay. As I said, today I'm going to speak about holes in the cheese, and we are broadcasting through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Of course, YouTube, because this is my channel. Let's start. Okay, everybody, all of us have things to do. I'm making cheese. I have my vat full of milk. I'm now I'm gonna make queso fresco, which people call me. Hey, you have cheese? Well, I don't have cheese, but and today I didn't think the milk it was gonna arrive. I called the supplier. Hey, can I have yesterday afternoon? Well, I'm gonna put the order on the table. If the driver see it, he will send you the milk. My surprise at 6 o'clock, boom, because I always wake up early. And at 6 o'clock, the milk arrives, so I have to run. And this is what I've been always in my Spanish show. I was late. Here I'm a little bit late. I don't used to be late. I don't like to be late at any meeting that I have. I learned this in this country. Okay, let's go and have some fun. Let's go and speak about cheese. Let's go and speak about holes in the cheese. Why do they happen? So I'm going to share the screen. Okay. See, the computer is it's flying. The computer is flying. Okay, holes in the cheese. Their types and why do they happen? I mean, this is very curious for people that doesn't know um, things about cheese making. Okay, what I want to tell you is that when we make cheese, okay, we can make cheese by three ways. Okay, the first let's focus in the first one. When we are making cheese, sometimes and we cut our curd, we have to get the right texture of the curd. At the beginning, the curd is very, very soft, very, very delicate, and we have to manage it with care, with a lot of with a lot of care. So when the heat start to act into the curd, the curd starts to expel whey, and by expelling whey, the curd becomes a little bit stronger. Okay, gets more compact. It will shrink a little bit, and it get hotter. When we make the cheese and stuff, and we salt the cheese, whether it's by brine or by dry salting, we put the cheese into the mold. But because the cheese, due to the fact that the cheese is, I mean, the curd is a little bit hotter, and we don't press it, there's always mechanical holes into the curd. And this is the one that you see here in the image. See? They tend to bond each other, they tend to bind each other, but there's always holes. This hole doesn't have to do anything with bacteria, nothing. It's just that the holes stay there because the curd was a little bit hard in this moment. It didn't compact properly. It's not a biggie. And this is very normal in cheeses that are not pressed. Okay, but there is another way of making cheese, of making holes into the cheese. Okay, in the first one, as I said, it was mechanical, but the second one, by the way, I forgot to caption the presentation. Let me caption the presentation first. So we can, what I'm speaking now is going to, but I have to change the language. Wait, let me change it to Spanish. Wait. Let me change the Spanish. My apologies. Wait. Here it is. Wait. Let me change it to Spanish so you can understand. If I can find Spanish. This is the good thing about. Here it is. This is the good thing about Office. In the PowerPoint presentation, it translates to the language. But this is new. But it's just provisional. It's not gonna be forever. I'm gonna use the streamer one. Anyway, as I was saying, the first way was by mechanical action. The second way is when we inoculate the milk with lactic cultures and we produce the holes. We can produce this microbial action can be done in two ways. When the milk is raw, okay, when the milk is raw, all the bacteria is there, so we don't have to put them back. But when the milk is pasteurized, we have during the pasteurization, all the bacteria die as well as the pathogen ones. All the pathogenic bacteria, they die during pasteurization, but the good bacteria, which is the lactic bacteria, and the non-lactic bacteria, they also die, and we have to put it back. So, and this type of bacteria, these good bacteria, they produce carbon dioxide. Okay, CO2, carbon dioxide. It's a gas that we have in the environment. It's not dangerous. It's fine. So, and this bacteria, the cheese makers like you and like me, we use it to make cheeses like Gruyere, Emmental, Edam, Gouda. Okay, if you notice, the holes are very big and they're not so many. Okay, when you see a cheese like this cheese is safe, is good. When you see holes like this, like the first one, like the first image, these are mechanical holes. The cheese is fine, no problemo. Okay, but and in the second one, all this gas or this holes is produced by carbon dioxide emission, which is fine. Okay, but the third case is when we find this type of cheeses. Okay, when we have so many holes, we have heaps of holes, and they are very small. However, you see these holes here? These are mechanical holes that are there. Okay, but you can see here many holes. These holes are produced by pathogenic bacteria like E. coli, and E. coli is a coliform, and Clostridium tyrobutyricum is another bacteria that attack the cheeses, especially the Dutch ones and the and um, yeah, the Dutch ones, Emmental and Gouda, and they produce this. They expand the cheese. They don't produce carbon dioxide. They produce hydrogen, and this hydrogen, even you can. Sometimes the production of the cheese is sorry. The production of the sometimes the production of the gas is so big that if you pin the cheese, the air escapes like a tire. So this is why the cheese is broken on the inside because of the Clostridia. Okay, this type of cheeses is they're not very safe to eat. If you see a cheese like this, I wouldn't recommend to eat it because you might get sick. Okay. However, in South American countries like Mexico, Chile, Nicaragua, Colombia, Venezuela, the people used to the coliform because in these countries the sanitary rules are not very strong, and people make cheeses with raw milk, which is not allowed by the international standards. So the the thing is that these people is used to a certain level of coliforms into their body, including myself. When I was living over there, I used to eat queso blanco, and the cheese have a lot of holes, and it was for me it was fine because my body was used to this type of milk and this type of cheeses. The thing is that now that I'm away from my country, from Venezuela, I have 10 years that I left the country. My body is not used to this type of food anymore. I reckon if I come back and eat the cheese, I will get sick for sure. So, but if, as I said, and carry on with the subject, if you see cheeses with a lot of holes and very small, be careful. These cheeses are attacked or they are invaded by E. coli, which is a coliform, and by if the cheese is very strong, if the crack are very like the one in the picture, this is a Clostridium tyrobutyricum attack. Okay, so you need to be careful. Okay, this is what I want to tell you about the cheeses, about the cheese making. But before I carry on with the questions and with the answers, I want to give you like a trivia. So, but if you want to buy my book, you can have it in Kindle. It's in English, okay, and it only costs $1.5. This is Australian dollars. It's $1.5. So there is no excuse if you don't want to learn how to make cheese because the knowledge is there. Only that the book is in English. But if you speak English, doesn't matter. That's the thing. This in Kindle. Just ask the beginner's Bible for cheese making by me, the cheese doctor. Okay, Dietrich Truxas is my name, and this is the link down there here. If you go to this link, I'm gonna take you to the platform so you can see it in a little while. Okay, but now I have this trivia. What type of I know, sorry. And this is I don't know why this why the this screen came back to me, the one of the cheese. But anyway, carry on with the subject. This is mechanical action. See, this is a mechanical action. See the holes. The core is really this. The body is here closed. It's closed, and the body here. Now, the microbial action is this one. These are the bacteria. This is the coli, and this is the Clostridium. Okay? As I said before, they produce hydrogen. The microbial action, the body is very close, okay? And when they produce carbon dioxide, at the beginning, these are nucleation points, okay? But they expand because of the bacteria, and they become bigger. And the bacteria that produce this type of acid, this type of gas, is called Propionibacterium shermani. They always call it Propioni shermani, okay? Not Propionibacterium shermani. Propioni shermani, and it's by the Dutch and Swiss cheeses, okay? And what they do, this type of bacteria, you have to use it with two. You have to use two bacteria: the culture to produce acid and the propioni. What the propioni does is they feed from the lactic acid produced by the bacteria, by the Leuconoschos species, like this one, by Lactococcus. They feed from this acid, and then this acid is fermented. They feed from the acid, and they produce another acid called propionic acid. This propionic acid gets fermented, and the fermentation produce gas and produce the holes into the cheese. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, I will repeat. When you make the cheese and you want holes in the cheese, you have to use one culture, a lactic culture, to produce acid, and one culture to produce gas. So you have to put them both together. In the fermentation process, when you ripen the cheese, when you make the cheese, you have to age it, you have to mature it. At the beginning, when you make the cheese, the lactic culture will produce acid, and then when the cheese is done, is finished, you put it in your cheese cave, and the propionic is gonna start to work. It works after the cheese is made. So the propionic shermani, which is the other bacteria, will feed from the acid lactic that is produced by the first bacteria, and it will produce a gas. It will produce first another type of acid, which is propionic acid. This propionic acid, during the maturation process, will ferment, and by fermenting, it will produce this gas, which is carbon dioxide, and will produce the holes. Okay. Okay, and this is the trivia that I wanted to tell you. Sorry about that during the presentation. I mixed the screens, but well, anyway, it is what it is. I can. Sorry about that. So, tell me what type of bacteria. Oh, sorry. What type of holes are these one? Are good holes or bad holes? Okay. Let me know in the comments. I mean, we're gonna answer the question, but if you are there, I would like to know your feedback. Let me know what do you think, if these are good holes or bad holes. What I'm trying to ask you is if these are holes produced by the Propionic shermani, or if these are holes produced by another type of bacteria, by the Clostridium or whatever. Okay. Well, and as I said before, the beginner's Bible for cheese maker. And if you want to learn how to make cheese, you can take my course, my cheese making course for beginners. This is the link. You can take it and learn how to make cheese the correct way. If you take the course, you're gonna know, you're gonna learn what happened to the cheese. And when you have if you have a problem that for sure you will have it, you will know how to overcome this problem and how to carry on with the process. Okay. Sometimes when we are making a cheese, the cheese does, especially for example, if we are making mozzarella and the mozzarella doesn't stretch, you know all, and you know what to do after that. Well, this is in the course. Okay. Okay. Now let's go with the Q&A. And my apologies for the really for the presentation. I really have well, I don't know what happened, but anyway, and I'm gonna carry on. Stop sharing the screen, and let's go with the questions. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. If you want, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. I'm going to learn. I'm going to share the screen again, but I'm going to show you something. It's about a cheese. I'm going to show you a cheese so you can have a look. Let me share the screen again. Okay. So look at that. See this cheese, okay? Wait, are we here? Yeah, yeah, here. See this cheese. If you see this cheese, the one, of course, it says here they look the same, but they're not. Correct. That's true. But this cheese is a camembert. See that it's small, and you see the white mold here. Okay, this is camembert. However, the one on the right is all liquefied. All is literally liquid. See, the one on the left, you see the liquefaction here, but on the center, the cheese is hard, it's still hard. Why is this happening? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason. As you know, when we make camembert, we use a mold called Geotrichum candidum or Penicillium camemberti. Okay, this mold feed from the lactic acid produced by the bacteria that is into the yeast. So when we are making camembert, we have to use lactic cultures, okay, and we have to use the mold called that I mentioned before, Geotrichum candidum and Penicillium camemberti. Okay, so the mold will feed from the lactic acid produced by the lactic bacteria. That we can have a mesophilic culture, a thermophilic culture, doesn't matter. Okay, the cheesemaker will decide what to put. Generally, they put mesophilic ones, but anyway, you can put a thermophilic if you want. Doesn't matter. As long as you have the acid and you produce your cheese, keep it at the right temperature is your problem. Okay. Anyway, the bacteria will die after. But by having the mold will attack the cheese from the outside to the inside until a point that the cheese is all liquefied on the inside, which is the cheese from the right. So the one from the left is being attacked by the mold, but it's not ready yet. So this cheese have more time than this one. See, because this one is still hard here in the center. It hasn't been attacked yet. It will eventually. It will be attacked eventually, and it will be liquefied eventually, but not yet. So this cheese, so the one on the left is younger than the one on the right. So when we are making camembert, we have to monitor this process. Oh, and we have to use a trier. When we make camembert, we normally make 50, 60 pieces of camembert, and we put it in the cave. And once, for example, after a month, we have to see if the cheese is all liquefied on the inside. And we pin the cheese with the trier. I'm going to show you a trier here that I have because I have one. And we just make a hole into the cheese, okay? Take a piece from the inside. If we notice that the cheese is still hard, like the one on the left, it's not ready. So we have to leave the whole lot for a longer time. We have to leave it maybe another month, 15 more days. The cheesemaker will decide that. So and this is what I wanted to tell you, right? The attack of the mold is from the outside to the inside until it's all liquefied. When the cheese is ready, and the cheesemaker try the cheese and see that it's all liquefied, boom, send it for sale. Sometimes the cheesemakers wait a little bit before it gets liquefied because the cheese sometimes they take a while to be sent to the retail store, and meanwhile we have to give it as well shelf life. So in the meantime, the cheeses become and they will ripen along the shelf life. But in general terms, this is how it should be. Okay? And this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, now let's go with them. Here is Hector Regina. Hi, doctor. How are you? Okay, Hector, how are you? Hector, this show is in English, so you gotta speak English. Okay, Manal, how are you, Manal? In the down cheese, Manal is asking, in the down cheese, good holes, but in the down cheese, good holes, but in the up, no. Let me see. No, that's not the answer, Manal. The thing is, this cheese, the one that I showed you in the trivia, is a cheese that has both bacteria. If you notice, and I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it back so I can share you the screen. And I'm gonna put it back. Where it is? Here it is. I'm gonna put it back. If you see this bacteria, okay? Look. If you see the hole here, the one it's the same cheese. If you notice that these 3 holes matches with these 3 holes, and the cheese and the holes are big and quite a few. No, there are not many. But on the upper side, both cheeses has been attacked by Clostridia. Okay, the Clostridia tiributinica. It's the same cheese, but it's cut in twice. It's cut in half. So when we make this type of cheeses, the Dutch Gruyere, the Swiss cheeses, and the Dutch cheeses, we use Propionibacterium. But Clostridia also attack this type of cheeses. So to avoid the Clostridia attack, we use a product called natamycin. Natamycin is like it's a product that we put into the curd or into the meal. I don't know because I haven't used it, but you put natamycin. I studied in the school, and you avoid this Clostridia attack. Okay, so you have to be careful when we are making this type of cheeses. It's a good practice to use natamycin. Of course, natamycin is you need to use it in a certain. I mean, the supplier of the product will give you the concentration of the product you need to use. Otherwise, it will be harmful for the health. But I haven't used it. But anyway, I know that it exists. I don't make this type of cheeses because I find it here very easy. So I don't make Swiss cheeses. I just make it for the videos. Okay. So this is a mixture. Okay. Clostridia and the whole with for the due to the Propionibacterium shermani. Okay. I hope you understand now. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go and answer some questions. It says here, Maria is asking me, hi, how are you? I have a challenge for you. I love challenges. Can you make mozzarella with vegetable? It says here, can you make mozzarella with milk from plants? I am lactose intolerant, and I would like to know if you can make it. Well, you can make mozzarella with lactose-free milk. I'm gonna have a video, and I made mozzarella with lactose-free milk, which is fine. You can give it a try. Have a video, have a look to the video, and we will, and you will know. But with almond milk, I haven't done it, and I don't know if I can make it. At first stage, I reckon because the protein, we don't have casein over there, so I have to think about it. But I will take your challenge, Maria. I will take your challenge, and let's see. Okay. It's another question here. Carpatonha is asking me here. Hey, I have very important. Your information is very important, cheese doctor. I have a question for you. We are entrepreneurs in Ecuador, and the way after we make cheese, we cook them, and some of them we cook them, and some of them we dump it away. And I'm just translating at the same time that I'm reading. However, after we heat the whey, we only get a small amount of whey. This is normal. Can you please advise? Okay, look, Carpatonha, Carpatonia, I don't know. When we make cheese, this unavoidable that part of the fat passes to the whey. You can't avoid it. This always happens. And that's why we make ricotta. You notice that the fat is passing to the whey because your whey is white. It's not yellow. It's not green. When the whey is green, it means that when the whey is green, it means that there is small amount of fat into your whey. So you haven't have much loss. So the thing is that because this is unavoidable, we hit the curve. I mean, we've made the cheese, finish the cheese, boom, we don't dump the whey, and after that we take the whey and heat them up at 85 degrees Celsius, pretty much. After that, the ricotta will pop up to the surface. This is very normal, but the amount is pretty much 10%. Pardon, sorry, 10%. The amount is approximately 10%. It's not much. It's no more than that. If you want to increase the amount of ricotta, I'm going to show you a trick. Because you're going to have a very small amount. If you want to get more amount of ricotta, and by the way, this ricotta is much more yum, put 1 liter of milk in the whey and do the process. Put vinegar. Okay, you have. I mean, there is a recipe. There is a video on my channel how to make ricotta. I reckon I have 2 videos. I don't remember which video. In which video I put the milk, but you can use milk. Put 1 liter, 2 liters. It will depend on your choice. 1 liter, you will have 1 liter. I mean, you will have 1 kilo of ricotta, or close to it. Okay, so this is a trick that I'm showing you, and this ricotta is more yum. It's more lactic. It's for cheesecake. It's excellent, and you just need to be careful when you put the vinegar. Okay, the vinegar. When you put the vinegar, you have to reach a pH target. I don't remember the number, but you have to reach a pH target. So you put the vinegar slowly, and the ricotta will pop up slowly, and then you just scoop it. By scooping it, pick them up and put it into the a colander with the cheesecloth, and then very very slowly and with a lot of care. Otherwise, you'll break the ricotta. I have made ricotta with 3 types of milk at the same time. I mix cow's milk, goat's milk, and sheep milk, and I made a ricotta that was excellent. It was awesome. Okay. Okay. Well, we're almost done. I reckon 1 more question and we'll leave. Let me see. He said here 1 question. I don't have the name of the person. Sorry about that. Okay. I have noticed the majority of the cheese I have made in the month of July and August have been very dry. I have no idea why. My cheese cures in the cheese box with the correct temperature and humidity. I use fresh raw milk and I'm very careful to follow the exact directions when making it. It is just very frustrating. I have no shred the cheese in order to use it. Any ideas what I'm doing wrong? Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. The thing is that this is a normal process. Why is a normal process? Because sometimes when we make the cheese, we use the same cows and the same milk. And the cows, in summer, they produce fat, a certain amount of fat, and in winter, their fat is different. Okay? This is called early lactation and late lactation. So when the cow give birth, it's early lactation, and at the beginning they produce the colostrum, and this colostrum is the one that it's like the human. They produce this colostrum is for the baby, and after that we can milk the cows, and they produce a lot of milk with a lot of fat. But during the after a certain period of time, in the late lactation, the cheeses decrease in fat or the milk decrease in fat. So the cheesemakers, and it's a cyclic process because every year the cow give birth. So every year we have to consider this by the time that we are making the cheese and standardize the milk. So it's a normal process. You just need to be aware of it, and you have to know that because they have less fat, and you're cutting at the same time at the same size, your cheese is becoming drier. So you have to add more fat because it's not the same fat that you are having that you're having before. The fat is decreasing, and because it's decreasing, especially if you are making pasta filata cheeses, by having less fat, your cheese will become drier. Okay, so you need to consider this when you make the cheeses. If you are making queso fresco, queso panela, queso blanco, or if you are making Havarti or blue cheeses, you need to cut a little bit bigger. Otherwise, your core will become too dry. So because it has less fat, so you have to consider this when you make the cheese. It's a normal process. Don't worry about it. It's part of the business. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. You just need to know that in September, to put a number, to put a month, I know that the fat will come, that the milk will come with less fat, so I'll have to cut bigger, or I will have to standardize my milk. Anyway, and it's good that you make some kind of analysis, or if you have the machinery or the equipment, the instruments to measure the fat, you could measure it, and it has less fat than before. Okay, I have to standardize the milk. I have to put certain amount of cream to get the milk at the same fat content. So, but you have to be careful and just consider when you make the cheese. Okay. Okay. Here we are, and thank you everyone for coming. I'm gonna carry on making my cheese, my queso fresco, and see you next week. I don't know what do I I don't have what topic I'm gonna speak next week. The things that I always bring you something. If you want to learn how to make cheese, as I said, you're in the right place. And as I always say, eat cheese, because life without cheese is like a love without a kiss. Take it easy.
Quesitos en casa, fáciles de hacer son. El doctor Quesero te enseña con sabor. Quesitos en casa, fáciles de hacer son. El doctor Quesero te enseña con sabor. Quesos colombianos y venezolanos, todo hecho en tu casa, con sabor zuliano y calor humano. Los quesos en casa tienen vitaminas, rápidos de hacer, en cualquier cocina. tan fácil como pelar mandarinas. Quesitos en casa, fáciles de hacer son. El doctor quesero te enseña con sabor. Quesitos